maybe first of all, what are we talking about? We are talking about intentional killing. We are talking about a person killing another willfully or having premeditated about it. And there could be several motives why a person will kill another. But I think one of the things that we note, even in the many cases that are reported, is that a person is hardly murdered by a stranger. They are murdered by a person they know very well, or a person they are likely to have been in a relationship. For example, we hear about husbands murdering their wives, or their vice versa, girlfriend, boyfriend murdering one another. So we find that more times that they could be because of jealousy, maybe greed, especially in cases of robbery where a person really wants to get an amount of money that they don't have, that the other person have. So they're likely to get it by force. The utmost type of violence or force is murder. It could also be because of revenge, or even a feeling of sometimes jealousy can come in siblings. Like parents seems to be favoring one child, and so the other one grows up feeling like I'm the hated one, the other person is the loved one. So such kind of emotion. But one of the things I notice is that almost all these motives are emotional. It's something like led by an emotion. So to me, it tells me about emotional management, that maybe the person committing murder here did not manage an emotion which, if they managed at the appropriate stage, would not have led to murder. Or lack of skills, conflict management skills, like when we hear that a husband murdered a child because they had a conflict with the wife, really that's an aspect of projection and failure to handle the conflict with the right person. The family members go through a lot of pain, a lot of grief, loss that is really unexpected, because basically there's death in the family, but may happen through many other reasons. But when it happens through murder, it means it's abrupt end of life to someone that you loved, and that can cause immense grief. I tend to think that it also causes an aspect of anger towards the person who committed the murder, and maybe even to generally their family, or to anyone who seems to hold the characteristics that they have. Like, for instance, I'm thinking that if a person from a certain tribe killed your child, you're likely to view maybe even members of that tribe and with an aspect of, kind of feeling like maybe they murder people, maybe fearing them. And of course, the perpetrator also goes through effects. And generally, it's not a human act to kill. So when someone kills, most often, even if they could have been under influence of drugs, because actually drugs is another reason why people commit murder, after it, most of them will go through a lot of guilt. And basically, that's why maybe many of them will continue to take drugs to be able to nurse those guilt feelings and that feeling of having, killed or stopped the life of another person. And that's why we see many of them actually committing suicide or, or hurting themselves. Some of them even report themselves to the police because they also suffer for killing. So really, whether to the victim's family or to the perpetrator, murder is not a good thing. Yeah, I think those could be some of the effects. But thinking about it, even the society really, even as we hear such reports on the media, it can be traumatizing, and it causes a lot of fear, a sense of insecurity. So it really creates a lot of insecurity and lack of trust, which makes building relationships even harder. every one of us in the society has a role. And right from childhood, at childhood, parents can actually inculcate the right values, try to instill human dignity and the value of human life as children grow up. Inculcating life skills, children need to learn how to express their emotions and how to communicate when they are hurt, and even how to seek to, kind of negotiate their way out of conflicts. Because I think that it really shows that we are living in a society that doesn't know how to manage the emotions, and like a society that expresses the emotions in the wrong way and is not handling the conflicts properly, because conflicts will always be there. People are likely to break up out of relationships, but we need to learn how to handle relationship breakups. Infidelity is on the rise. What would happen if infidelity happens? Is there a way that the society can teach people how to handle issues when they are really hurt, like in cases of infidelity? And when I think of that, I think that religion has a big role to play. Because I believe when I think of religions, all types of religions teach some values. And I think one thing is common to all, that they teach human dignity. They teach that human beings are important. And I think that's something that the religious leaders need to come out very strongly on, so that as people are growing up, they grow knowing that everybody is important. If we learn to do that in the little things, then even when we are so aggrieved, we will not go to the extent of committing murder. So the parenting interventions, maybe when I think of myself as a psychologist, maybe I need to think about interventions that we can give to parents, trainings to parents on how to bring up their children in ways that will help them to be able to deal with the emotions and to handle conflicts. The school has a role to play. We need programs that teach life skills to children. I think it's high time we stopped concentrating on only the academics and passing exams. I hope the new education system does that, but also inculcate other social values. How do I interact with other people in the society? And the fact that we cannot all be equal, but still we are all important to one another. So I think that the society has quite a role to play, and also maybe think about how do we deal with the issue of drug and substance abuse that's on the increase. And we know that when people have taken drugs, they're not sober. They're not able to make, wise decisions or sober decisions on how to deal with people who anger them or something like that. So we have to really come up with strategies of dealing with substance abuse and, drugs. And also think about the inequality, economic inequality in the society. The gap between the haves and the have-nots, because I think poverty, just like drugs, is a good driver of crime in the society. And murder is one of the highest levels of crime. So I think that maybe the leaders, people who are in policy making levels, need to think about policies that can lead to economic, reducing the gap in the economic inequality. And maybe finally think about how can we promote a non-violent language. How can we just use communication skills and words that are not violent? Because I think violence, whether in words or in actions, is bad. So we need to come up with ways of reducing violence as a way of dealing with issues in the society.